Welcome to the AWS Certified DevOps Engineer Professional course, and I am so glad you are here today. We will study the cloud together, and I will help you pass the DOP-C02 exam with ease. You will learn how to automate processes, and we will build highly secure cloud systems step by step. I want to make these difficult concepts simple for you, so we will take things very slowly. This learning journey will be fun, so grab your notebook, and let us start our first lesson. Section 1 covers the software development lifecycle, which we often call CI/CD pipelines in the cloud. You need to know how to automate testing, and you must understand deployment strategies for different applications. We use AWS CodePipeline to orchestrate and connect everything together from the start to the very end. Meanwhile, AWS CodeBuild handles the compiling and the testing of your application code without managing any servers. Finally, AWS CodeDeploy releases your application to users, making the entire release process smooth and entirely hands-free. When we update our applications, we have a few different ways to release the new version safely. A blue-green deployment switches traffic instantly to a new environment, allowing for an immediate and safe rollback. This is a great choice when your application needs zero downtime during the required software update process. A canary deployment slowly shifts a small percentage of users to the new application version at first. This limits the risk of bad updates, and you can catch hidden errors before everyone sees them. Managing changes across multiple AWS accounts requires tools like CloudFormation stack sets to deploy templates everywhere very quickly. We also use AWS Code Artifact to store our software packages safely so other development teams can use them. You will see these concepts often on the exam, so we need to practice them together right now. Please subscribe to the channel, and check the description for the complete course and offline app link. Now, let us look at some realistic practice questions to test your new cloud knowledge immediately today. Question 1. Your team needs to deploy a new web application with absolutely zero downtime, and you must be able to roll back instantly if errors occur. Which deployment strategy should you choose for this task? Answer: you should use a blue-green deployment. Explanation: a blue-green deployment uses two identical environments to switch traffic instantly, providing zero downtime and immediate rollback capabilities. Question 2. You want to test a new application version by sending it to 10% of your users first, and you need it to roll back automatically if an alarm triggers. Which strategy fits these rules? Answer: you should use a canary deployment strategy. Explanation: a canary deployment gradually shifts a small percentage of traffic to the new version, limiting the impact of potential errors. Question 3. Your company has a primary AWS account for developer tools, and you need to deploy build artifacts securely into a separate production account. What 3 configurations do you need to set up? Answer: you need a cross-account IAM role, an S3 bucket policy, and a shared KMS key policy. Explanation: cross-account deployments require an IAM role for permissions, an S3 policy for artifact storage access, and a KMS policy for decryption. Question 4. You are building an automated pipeline, and you must ensure that your code passes unit tests before it can be deployed to the live servers. Where should you place the testing phase? Answer: you should place a code build test stage in CodePipeline before the deployment stage. Explanation: code build compiles and tests your source code, so it must run before the deployment stage to prevent broken releases. Question 5. Your security team wants to standardize a golden machine image with security hardening, and they need this image to update automatically on a weekly schedule. Which AWS service should you implement? Answer: you should use the EC2 Image Builder service. Explanation: EC2 Image Builder automates the creation, management, and testing of secure server images and container images on a regular schedule. Question 6. Your build script needs a database password to run tests, and you must not hardcode this secret inside the application code or the build configuration file. How can you securely inject this password? Answer: you should reference AWS Secrets Manager inside your CodeBuild configuration. Explanation: Secrets Manager stores confidential credentials securely, allowing CodeBuild to fetch the password during runtime without exposing it in plain text. Question 7. Your organization creates internal software packages that multiple development teams share, and you need a managed repository to store these dependencies securely. Which AWS service is the best choice? Answer: you should use AWS Code Artifact. Explanation: Code Artifact is a fully managed repository service that securely stores and shares software packages like NPM or pip dependencies. Question 8. Your container application runs on the Elastic Container Service behind an application load balancer, and you need to perform a safe blue-green deployment. Which service orchestrates this traffic shift? Answer: you should use AWS CodeDeploy. Explanation: CodeDeploy integrates seamlessly with the Elastic Container Service and an application load balancer to manage blue-green traffic shifting automatically. Question 9. Your pipeline build step fails randomly during the week, and your developers need to diagnose the exact phase where the failure happens quickly. How can you enable this detailed visibility? Answer: you should enable CloudWatch logs for the CodeBuild project. Explanation: streaming CodeBuild output to CloudWatch logs allows your developers to review specific build phases and identify the exact error. Question 10. Your company hosts its application source code on an external Git provider like GitHub, and you want your AWS pipeline to start automatically upon a new code push. How do you connect them? Answer: you should use AWS Code Connections as the source action. Explanation: Code Connections provides a secure and managed way to connect your AWS services to third-party Git repositories like GitHub. Question 11. You need to deploy an identical security logging baseline across 50 different AWS accounts, and this deployment must happen automatically when new accounts join. What is the best solution? Answer: you should deploy CloudFormation stack sets integrated with AWS organizations. Explanation: CloudFormation stack sets allow you to deploy a single infrastructure template across multiple accounts and regions from a central location. Question 12. You want to allow development teams to launch approved infrastructure stacks on their own, but you must prevent them from making unauthorized configuration changes. Which service provides this governed autonomy? Answer: you should use AWS Service Catalog. Explanation: AWS Service Catalog allows organizations to create and manage catalogs of approved IT services that teams can deploy themselves. Question 13. Your compliance team suspects that someone manually changed the settings of a managed database, and they need you to verify if it differs from its original infrastructure template. What feature should you use? Answer: you should use CloudFormation drift detection. Explanation: drift detection compares the current configuration of your resources against the original CloudFormation template to find any manual changes. Question 14. Your developers prefer to write their infrastructure rules using programming languages like Python instead of writing text files, and they want the code to generate standard templates. What tool should they use? Answer: they should use the AWS Cloud Development Kit. Explanation: the Cloud Development Kit allows you to define cloud resources using familiar programming languages before synthesizing them into CloudFormation templates. Question 15. You need to manage application feature flags separately from your main deployments, and you must be able to change these settings safely without restarting the servers. Which service handles this? Answer: you should use AWS App Config. Explanation: AWS App Config helps you deploy dynamic configuration changes and feature flags to your applications instantly without requiring a full restart. Question 16. Your company wants to apply a strict security policy that prevents any account administrator from disabling CloudTrail logging, and this rule must apply across the entire business. How do you enforce this? Answer: you should attach a service control policy to AWS organizations. Explanation: service control policies set maximum permission limits for entire accounts, preventing even root users from performing restricted actions. Question 17. Your application stores its container images in a central registry, and you must ensure these images are scanned for vulnerabilities before they can be deployed. Which registry service provides this capability? Answer: you should use the Elastic Container Registry. Explanation: the Elastic Container Registry stores your container images securely and offers built-in scanning tools to find software vulnerabilities easily. Question 18. You want to protect a critical production database from being accidentally deleted during an infrastructure update, but you still want to manage it using templates. What property should you configure? Answer: you should set the deletion policy to retain in the CloudFormation template. Explanation: setting the deletion policy to retain ensures that CloudFormation will not delete the database resource even if the stack is deleted. Question 19. You are managing a fleet of servers that must be patched to a specific baseline every weekend, and you need automated reporting to prove compliance. Which service combination handles this requirement? Answer: you should use Systems Manager, Patch Manager, and State Manager. Explanation: Patch Manager automates the installation of security updates, while State Manager ensures the servers remain compliant with your baseline rules.